world speaking of sports.
You are listening to the Cheap Seats.
Who are these guys?
On Twitter at TCS Willis MSP Detterman, Spreaker and iHeartRadio.
Here is Steve and Steve.
Oh my God. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me.
Ah, boy, here we go.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is time for the Cheap Seats. I'm your host, Steve Willis, and silently laughing.
It is
to my immediate
time.
It is time. You've never heard the
a pregnant pause?
No. It's the announcer for the big UFC fights.
I don't watch UFC. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's what he does. That's
like watching the WWE.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's real fighting.
Is John?
You watch wrestling? I don't want to hear it.
Is John L. Sullivan still out there fighting?
Oh my God! Here we go. Yeah, look at him. Whatever.
We have the 40-round bites.
Yeah.
I just meant I'm going to go and jump on you and kick you in the teeth. You don't mind, do you?
Okay. Well, the guy that's about to get kicked out of the seat to my immediate left, that is Steve Detterman. I'm, of course, your host, Steve Willis, and it is the Cheap Seats, brought to you by DDW Transmission.
And yes, we are cheap.
We completely overran our intro, so just a heads up, by the way, if you've, live in our area, north central Indiana, Chicago area, and you don't know, Cubs are up 3-2.
Yeah.
Big game last night. The bats have come out in the last two games,
yes.
And I am really excited about that because that's really what, in my opinion, what got the Cubs where they're at right now. That and some excellent defense, excellent pitching. The pitching and defense have been there for the entirety of the playoffs, but the hitting has finally showed up, Steve.
And what started all that hitting? Do you remember what started the whole hitting?
A bunt.
A bunt single.
Of all things.
A bunt
single.
Started everything off. A bunt by Ben Zobrist got it going. How about Addison Russell? How about coming off the Schneid?
Finally off the Schneid with a home run. With a dinger.
Not just one.
Yes.
But two.
Two
nights in a row.
Jacks. 2 nights in a row. It was
kidding.
awesome.
And Anthony Rizzo coming big time.
Yep.
I mean, he had 3 hits on Wednesday and a couple more hits last night.
And you know what's really funny about this is that the hot and cold nature of hitting anyway really kind of lends itself to that same theology that baseball players follow. That it's all about the superstition, and it's all about the rhythm, and it's all about the routine, and it's all about everything. And then when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. And that's exactly what baseball players do. They all do this. Major League Baseball players, in my opinion, probably the most superstitious out of all athletes.
You just, as you're talking about this, I'm just thinking of the movie Major League with the Cleveland Indians and Jabu and how in their locker room right now, the Cleveland Indians, they have a shrine set up to Jabu. And they have the rum there, and they have the cigars, and they have all this stuff sitting there.
I give Jabu the rum.
I give Jabu the rum.
Him the fine cigar.
I give him everything. He helps me bat. He'll rub the chicken bones on my bat. They do that crap over in Cleveland right now. But baseball players have been superstitious. Remember Wade Boggs? I mean, you talk about Mr. Superstition.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had to eat chicken every day before a game.
Yeah, I wonder how he's doing now. At least it wasn't steak or something.
Well, he isn't playing right now. He's probably eating pork ribs and everything else. He's probably like 600 pounds or so.
Yeah, he's upgraded.
But, I mean, that's the thing that, baseball players, a lot of them do, they have their own routines, and they do the same routines when they break out of those routines. But what we're finding out about these Chicago Cubs is they don't do that.
No, but
it's more their fans that do that.
Right, but the significance of what they've actually done in the last 2 games now with getting back on the hit parade, what's really happening now is the confidence has built up in the clubhouse now. You could see halfway through game 3 when all of a sudden or game 4 rather, I'm sorry, when all of a sudden
As soon as Addison Russell hit that home run.
Yeah, it was right after the Russell home run. All of a sudden, the entire dugout just, a bunch of smiles, backslapping and everything. And then the attitude of the entire club was different in Game 5 last night. The attitude was completely different. The Cubs had that same, not necessarily a swagger, but a confidence, knowing that, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to battle this pitcher. I'm going to take a shot. And sure enough, they obviously chased their starting pitcher last night.
Right. Well, they took him out of here. Maeda was only going to go four innings as it was. He went with 3 2/3.
Right. And then they went to pick apart the bullpen, and they did a fantastic job at that. Now you have Clayton Kershaw coming up Saturday night, Game 6. I was actually kind of surprised that Kershaw would be a Game 6, not a Game 5.
Well,
start.
here's the thing, and they brought it up, and I thought it made perfect sense. Maeda is very comfortable at home. He's not comfortable on the road.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Most of his wins this season, his better performances always were at Los Angeles.
Okay.
Kershaw, he pitched great everywhere.
Yeah.
Kershaw is the best pitcher that we've seen in our lifetime.
Yeah, I say Kershaw is the best pitcher in all of baseball, has been forever.
He's at his age, what he's done, he's won 3 Cy Youngs already. Can you imagine 3 Cy Youngs already?
No. To win 1, you're amazing.
And the thing is that he didn't win last year, still had an awesome year because Jake Arrieta went out of his accord last year.
Right.
This year he won't win because he missed two months this season. Out with a herniated disc. Here's a guy's out for 2 months on a herniated disc, comes back and throws 4 games in a matter of 12 days.
Yeah, you want to talk about Iron Man status?
And that's it. So I don't think that the plan was him to ever go into Game 5. Game 6, yes, and then believe me, if need be, he will be ready to come in Game 7. Kershaw is someone that I think the Cubs are going to beat. I think right now, with the bats the way they are, I think the way they're hitting, I just think the confidence. You could see that going through, but this is a team that they won 103 games.
Right.
You're going to have some bad games. They had 2 bad games. And as soon as they broke out, this is the team again. They won 103. They know how to win. They know that they're going to have this happen.
They didn't get here by mistake.
No.
They don't have the best record in baseball on accident. This is
not an error. This wasn't, just a gift or anything like this.
Right.
This is a team that led the majors in win. This is the team that led the majors in run differential. This is a team that had a great ERA as a team, great pitching, great fielding. I think they were, number 1 fielding and maybe, number 1 ERA? Were they number 1 ERA or number 2?
I think they were number 1 ERA. I know they had 3 pitchers out of the 5 were in the top 10.
Well, all 5 were in the top 20.
Yeah,
so
all 5. All 5 were in the top 20. Three of the 5 though were in the top 10.
Yeah.
As far as ERA to end the year, and that was Lester. Who was that?
Well, Lester Hendricks, and Arrieta.
Yeah, Arrieta. Thank you. And when you look at this team and you look what they've done all year, it did not really surprise me that they would have a breakout moment in this Dodgers series. I was just hoping it wasn't too little too late, and it looks like it's in plenty of time. Because now you're up a game in the series. All you have to do is take 1 at home out of these 2.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Even if Kershaw beats you, which, right now it's not outside. It's not outside of the realm of possibility. But I do really like the Cubs' confidence right now. But even if Kershaw beats you, you still have Rich Hill you can go up against. You're at home at Wrigley. It's going to be electric. Game 6. If it goes to a Game 7, God, that's going to be out of your mind. Mm-hmm. Game 7 NLCS at Wrigley. Cubs, obviously, the big heartthrob of the entire country right now. Everybody is sweetheart on the Cubs unless you're playing against them. Really, to be honest, I know Dodgers fans right now that are like, I'm rooting for the Dodgers, but a little part of me is like, man, I hope the Cubs, get a chance to pull this off.
Here I want to bring something. I want to reel back a little bit here.
Yeah.
We everybody sits there and talks about Kershaw's performance in Game 2. Tremendous performance, right?
Sure.
Oh, this is awesome, Kershaw.
It wasn't a bad performance.
I want to ask you something.
It was average.
What was the final score?
1-0.
Huh, 1-0. They didn't win like 8-0 or 10-0.
Oh
right?
God, no.
It was 1-0. It was
No.
And they went on. How'd they score their run? Do you remember?
Boy.
I'll remind you if you want to know.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was a home run by Adrian Gonzalez.
That's right.
So they won on one mistake, right?
Right. One pitch mistake.
So why aren't we talking about Hendricks? Why aren't we talking about the Cubs pitching in that game?
That is a very good point.
I mean, everybody has brought up the fact that Clayton Kershaw threw a damn shutout for 7 innings, won the game. God, is Clayton Kershaw the god of all, and he is wonderful. And he is a wonderful pitcher. This is probably the greatest pitcher that you and I will ever see in our lifetime.
More than likely, yeah.
Okay. But in that game, Hendricks gave up 1 run on 1 bad pitch. And it wasn't a bad pitch.
And
Gonzalez took one low and lifted it out.
And if you think about it,
And
really,
the wind was blowing out.
Yeah, and if you think about it, really, Hendricks is he's not even really the number 2 pitcher in this rotation to go up against the Dodgers' clear ace and go toe-to-toe with him.
No.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's what's been forgotten about that whole game. Yes, give all the applause to Clayton Kershaw. He did tremendous. He came off 3 days rest. He didn't have that normal. But damn it, take a look at what Kyle Hendricks did. Kyle Hendricks pitched one hell of a game. 1 pitch. That's it. 1 bad pitch, or 1 pitch that it wasn't a bad pitch. But it was a pitch that Adrian Gonzalez got. He pulled it up, took it out, wind's blowing out.
Yeah. Yeah, he gave the ball a big lift. That really, on a calm day, it would have been a warning track out, but he did. Yeah, I remember the home run.
And that's the thing.
Vividly,
you lost 1-0.
Right.
It wasn't like you got blown out.
Right.
It wasn't like the Dodgers did something extra special and just really cleaned your clock. Okay.
It's funny you should actually say that, because in this series, really, the only spectacular anything that has happened has been really on the Northsiders' side of the field.
If you want to go offensive wise, yes.
Yeah.
In the first game, the Dodgers hung tough. They scored 4 runs. Well, they scored 3. They got the 1 run in the 9th inning after it was basically over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second game, they win 1-0.
Right.
The third game, they won 6-0, and that was just basically a game where you saw some meltdowns in the Cubs pitching, but you also saw a home crowd spur on a team to a win.
Yes, absolutely.
Then you watch the Cubs crush them 10-2.
Yes.
Then you see them win again last night 8-4.
Yes.
Well, let's take a look. It looks like the Cubs have scored 26 runs?
Mm-hmm.
26 runs in 5 games. So a little bit over 5 runs a game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how many runs that our Dodgers have scored. The Dodgers scored 4 and 1 is 5. They scored 6, so it's 11.
Yeah.
Then 2 is 13, and then 4 is 17.
Yep.
So they're averaging a little bit over 3.
Right.
So the Cubs have outscoring them per game average 5-3. Okay. So your ERA for the Cubs is a little bit over 3.
Okay.
Your ERA for the Rams, the Dodgers, is over 5. And that's throwing in there 2 shutouts.
Yeah.
If it's something to take a look at those 2 games. Well, that's who you get to pitch against. Yeah, that's right. But let's take a look at that 1-0 game. It was 1 pitch. That's it. It wasn't like the Dodgers crushed them. It wasn't like the Cubs gave it away. The Cubs didn't lose on an error.
Right.
They didn't lose on a bad play or anything like that.
Yeah,
a guy reached down, got a pitch, and lifted it out.
Right.
A mistake. That happens in a game. Mm-hmm. The difference is the Dodgers held it up.
Right.
But the Dodgers didn't do anything else to really, take that game and just crush it away and just ram it into the Cubs' face.
Right.
Now the 6-0 game, that was a beating. But then you get beat 10-2, and 8-4. I mean, it's like, wow, okay. So if the Cubs are going to win, they're going to score at least 8 runs. That's what we figured out so far. They've scored 8 in the first game, 8 in the fifth game, and 10 in the fourth game.
Right.
If they're going to lose, they ain't going to score a run. So
right.
As soon as we get a run, if we know it's over, the Cubs are going to score 8.
Yeah.
So that's all we got to hope for is that when they play the Dodgers that game on Saturday, score 1 run, it's over. We can go to bed. Cubs going to score 8. We're going to average at least 5, and they're going to get 3. So hey, game's over. Let's go to bed. Don't you think it would be that easy?
Boy, it'd be so nice to have your confidence.
Don't you wish it would be that easy?
I very much wish it would be that easy.
Because both you and I watched you when you came in. We talked a little bit. We texted back and forth a little bit today. It is hell living in the East Coast
for a West Coast time frame.
Well, it's just not even West Coast. Even when they had the games here in Chicago, they did not start the games until after 8 o'clock our time.
Yeah, this is true.
In last night's game, 4 hours and I was like 20 minutes.
It was a long time.
4
You know what's really
hours.
funny? I woke up in the middle of the night. My dog was whining or whatever. I woke up in the middle of the night and I actually watched the ninth inning get wrapped up.
I mean, and the thing is I'm sitting there and this is, I gotta be up at 6. These games aren't getting over till like 12:30.
Dude, I feel you.
And by the time you get to sleep, because you're still all jacked up and everything, it's like 1:30.
I have to be up at 2:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So I feel you. I really do.
Yeah, but I've got 20 years on you too.
I don't care. I got to be up at 2:30 in the morning.
I don't give a shit. I got 20 years on you right now. When you get to be my age, old man, young man, you'll understand. You get to be old age. You need your sleep.
So what are we telling Major League Baseball here? Put the games on in the afternoon. Put the games on at
7. Put them on at 6.
Remember when they used 6?
I mean,
put them on at 6 for Pete's sake.
Remember when they used to have
That's 2
all
in
the
the
games?
Afternoon. That's 2 in the afternoon.
They used to have the
West
game
Coast.
at 2 in the afternoon, and then at 6. At 6 or 7 o'clock. And it was like going, that's beautiful. Well, we're missing all the West Coast. Well, they don't even show up to the game until the 3rd inning.
Right.
I mean, hell, you started at 7. By the time you get to the 3rd inning, it's 9 o'clock.
The Dodgers,
by then.
The Dodgers are in the NLCS, and it's still an empty stadium until you get to the top of the 4th.
It just kills me. Okay, start the game at 7. By the time they get there, they can get in the 3rd inning anyway.
Only
who
reason,
the hell cares?
Yeah, you know why you're missing the West Coast? Because it's the West Coast. That's why.
I'm sitting there. I'm going last night. I'm going. It's 8-1. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed, and I can't go to bed because if I go to bed, then all of a sudden something's gonna happen. You got to stay up.
Oh, that's exactly the mentality too. It's like I can't shut it off because if I shut it off, then something's going to happen.
Here's the thing.
I'm going to be mad.
What happened in the Giants series? Do you remember that last game when they scored the 4 runs and they won it?
Oh yeah.
Who went to bed?
Me. Yeah.
And I did.
I woke up the next morning. I was like, "Oh, hey, the Cubs won the series. Oh, that's awesome."
Wow, the Cubs won the freaking series? Really?
Yeah.
What the hell? And they go, "Did you watch this as a game for the ages? You should have seen it. How could you be a Cubs fan and miss it?" I'm going,
because I work.
I had to go to work in the morning.
Because I have a job.
Yeah. And I just sit there going, shut up, you guys in Chicago. You're an hour freaking. We live what? An hour and a half from Chicago?
About 90 minutes.
We got the damn hour change. We got the hour difference in time.
Yeah. So it's actually a half an hour drive there, but it's a 2.5 hour drive back.
Well, no, it's an hour and a half drive there.
No.
Well, yeah, that's right. Because
half an hour
and
2.5 hours drive back.
Yeah.
That's why I always hated to go out to Maryville, just for that reason.
Yeah.
It's a 15-minute drive out, but it's an hour and 15 minutes back.
Remember when Michigan and Indiana were on different time zones.
Oh my.
And I live in Michigan. I worked in Indiana.
That had to be fun.
Oh, it was great when the kids were little. I mean, I would leave for work in the morning.
Sure.
At 8:30. Okay? I would get to work at 8.
That's awesome.
I'd leave at 8:30 to
go
get there
back
at 8.
in time.
But then when I came home, I'd leave at 9. I'd get home at 10:30.
10:30, yes. Yeah. That's the only thing that stinks.
Well, yeah, but the kids were in bed by then, so it really didn't make a difference.
There you go. All right, we got to hit a break. When we come back, Game 6 in the NLCS. The last time the Cubs were here, they had 55 seconds of the worst time of their lives. I'm going to tell you all about that here on the other side of this. You're listening to Cheap Seats on XCRS Radio.
It's Maximus and the bartender. Now, all of a sudden, after LeBron goes home, they couldn't wait, Big Daddy. Now, Kevin Durant going back to Washington, D.C.?
Wait a minute. Durant to D.C.? I don't see that happening. Ever.
Marion Barry got reelected, remember?
Kevin Durant is not going to D.C. He's not going to. He's not being traded. He's not going to force a trade.
Remember,
he's happy in Oklahoma City with Westbrook.
D.C. where the cost of living is going up and the chance of living is going down.
Tune in every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern at xersradio.com.
Danielle Slav from Cheers Pub here. If you're looking for the best live music in Michiana, Cheers Pub is for you. Established in 1982, Cheers has become a well-known venue featuring local, regional, and national acts. Hard rock, metal, indie, and classic rock music is featured weekly on our newly remodeled stage. We have karaoke on Wednesday nights, drink specials nightly, 4 Horsemen Pizza, and a full menu to curb your appetite. We're open 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Located at 103 Dixie Way South in Roseland. Cheers Pub, where friends become family.
Since 1980, Mr. G's has been serving up good food, good drinks, and great times. Located at 708 Lincoln Way West in the heart of Osceola. They are open 364 days a year with live music on the weekends and food and drink specials every day. Like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, and check out their website at MrGofOC.com. Stop in every Thursday for a world-famous prime rib or to watch your favorite sports events on their many HD TVs. Smoking is allowed, so you must be 21 or over.
Hi, I'm former President George W. Bush. Now, here's a couple of guys that always have some kind of exit strategy. Steve Willis and Steve Detterman.
And we're back to Cheap Seats on XCRS Radio. Of course, you can always check us out on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com, search for the Cheap Seats. You can check us out on Twitter, too, if Twitter's still up. That is after the cyber attacks today. Twitter, of course, going down for a while. Not sure if it's
out there on that internet thing.
Yeah, not sure if it's back up or not, but the Twitter handle is
hey, Twitter producer Emily, check that out. See if we're still on.
Yeah, you're going to have to see if we can still post. What was the Twitter handle again? I forgot. It was at Cheap Seats
underscore.
Yeah, at the Cheap Seats underscore XCRS or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's us.
Yeah, that's
we don't even
tells you how
know.
Little attention I pay in meetings.
If Emily wasn't handling that, we'd be both going, what? Yeah, okay, yeah. Cyber attacks, really?
Cyber attacks, yeah, that's pretty crazy. All right, so you remember the last time the Cubs were in the NLCS? 2008.
I do.
It was a grand year. It was a fantastic year for the boys in blue. Yep, against the Marlins. The Cubs were 5 outs away from going to the World Series. Yes. And then comes
why do you have to
and then comes 55 seconds that haunted every Cubs fan ever since. And here it is.
Again in the air, down the left field line. Alou reaching into the stands and couldn't get it. And he's littered with a fan.
awfully close to fan interference right there. The umpire's all over it. The umpire right down there, Mike Everett's on the play. If Alou has to reach into the stands, it's fair game for the fans to catch the ball. If the fan reaches out over the field, then it can be ruled fan interference. That is very, very close.
And that, of course, was the famous Bartman ball. Steve Bartman, of course, being that fan. And now...
The Simpsons took a real high hit there, too. The old Bartman.
Oh, my. You'd make a Simpsons reference.
Yeah, well, someone had to.
Yeah, there you go. Steve Bartman, of course, was made infamous.
Vilified.
Because of that particular play. I've always said, hey, look, there were more plays. The Cubs had 5 more outs. And, by the way, they had an entire game.
Wasn't it then they had the ground ball to Gonzalez at shortstop that he just booted?
Yeah. Yes. So there was a series of other plays that had to happen.
Moises there, I wet on my hands, Alou.
Yes.
I want to make them hard. I hear you have to just go on them, and that's how it makes them hard.
I don't know.
I just have to go, you do what on your hands?
Yeah, the only thing that I'm guaranteeing is
I'm not going to shake your hand.
Yeah, that
Trust
you're getting
me.
a fist bump. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, I mean,
so
if he would have done that to the Bartman, we wouldn't be talking about this.
So Steve Bartman, of course, was the subject of Game 6 last time. This time,
they got to invite him to the game.
Wouldn't you?
I'd have him throw out the first pitch.
Wouldn't you, though?
I would.
I would.
You know what?
Steve Bartman, come here. Let's cast those demons out.
No, hey,
come on out here.
Miss
Throw
Bartman,
the opening pitch.
Here. I want you to come out here with this pet goat. Walk out here, and I want you to throw the ball. We saved the ball. You know, you thought that they blew it up at Harry Carey's. No, they didn't. Here's the ball. Go ahead and throw it in for the first pitch.
Yeah. And then...
Where's the black cat at, too? Bring the black cat out, too, from the Mets.
And
from
you know
69.
what? And you know what? Then,
What?
Mr. Bartman, you get seats. You get to sit in and enjoy Game 6 with the rest of us.
Can you have the Larry King seats right behind the thing going?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, he's going to sit next to Larry King. That way there's the fence back there, so he can't reach out and grab for the ball.
Did you see Larry King last night? They kept showing him. He's back there. He was eating ice cream or something.
I don't know what he was eating.
I don't know, but I'm just going, damn, someone's got to put him to bed.
Did you see Tommy Lasorda? Did you see Tommy Lasorda?
And the guy wiping his face?
Yes.
I'm like,
his handler. Who was that? I recognized who it was. I couldn't.
Larry King? I don't know.
No. He was hanging out with Tommy Lasorda. He it's really funny because I recognize the face. I know who he is.
I just saw him wipe his...
No. He's a famous baseball personality. I just can't think of who the hell that was.
Okay.
And it's been haunting me ever since.
Steve Garvey.
No, it's not Steve Garvey.
Ron Say, the Penguin.
No, not Ron Say. No, oh my God. It's funny too because... I can, in my mind's eye, I can think of who it was. I just can't think. By the end of the show, I want to know who that was.
Tommy Lasorda's mouth.
You're really looking it up that way.
I am.
That is great.
Who wiped Tom Lasorda's mouth at game? I thought it was just funny. I'm watching the game.
I'm like, look, I get it. The guy's like 3 centuries old, but he can't really wipe his own mouth.
I know.
I mean, he can chew his own food, right? I mean, he's not.
Bobby Valentine wiped
Bobby Valentine.
Look at this.
You go.
That's what I put on there. Who wiped Tom Lasorda's mouth? Bobby Valentine wiped crumbs off Tommy Lasorda's mouth.
Yes,
that's
who it was. Bobby
That's what
Valentine.
I love about that internet thing. I can Google things.
Yeah, the whole interwebs.
Whatever. Yeah, those webby things.
Yes.
Thank you, Al Gore, for creating that for us.
Yes,
by the way.
I still say if somebody from 100 years ago came here and asked you what is the greatest piece of technology that you guys have, I would say I have a device that holds all the world's knowledge and fits in my pocket. And I use it to argue with people and watch cat videos.
So how the hell do you get your wife in there? How do you get your wife in your pocket?
All the world's knowledge.
All the world's knowledge, and by gosh, she's bringing it up for you. Yes,
she is far more intelligent than I am.
I'm just sitting there watching the game, and I'm watching the back, and all of a sudden in the back, there's. Wait a minute, is that Larry King? That's Larry King back there. Oh my God, they just showed him. He's
tearing up an ice cream cone.
No, he had like a scoop. It was
a bowl of ice cream.
A bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, not ice cream.
And I'm watching this guy going, okay, so I'm seeing this 99-year-old guy trying to get this ice cream in his mouth.
No, he was succeeding.
Oh, he was, but
he was on a tear.
He
was working towards a brain freeze.
He
was eating that ice cream so fast. But it was like somebody was trying to take it away from him.
But what he did something that I wish seventh inning he was gone. He was they already retired him. He was in bed somewhere and they put him to sleep. But they took him and Tommy back to the home.
Yeah.
The old Dodger home somewhere on there.
It was time to go back. And then the nurse comes up. Time to go back, boys.
They had Mary Hart back there. Boy, did she look horrible.
Mary Hart? I didn't see her.
They showed Mary Hart with her husband. Remember how cute and everything Mary Hart was?
She was pretty.
Yeah.
You're talking early Entertainment Tonight days. Yeah, she was very pretty.
Yeah, remember she had her legs, wasn't she the one that had her legs insured?
Boy, I couldn't tell you that.
I believe she had her legs insured.
For sure.
And, she was sitting back there and she, I'm a Donald Trumpet right now. I mean, she looked old.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
really?
She did. I mean, she still looked good, but I mean, it's like going, wow, I'm still imagining Mary Hart from back in 1980. And I keep forgetting it's now 2000, so that's 36 years. I mean,
I on occasion I will watch a little network television.
Yep.
Very, very occasionally. And every once in a while something will come on that catches my interest. Like Wheel of Fortune is one. Oh. I do enjoy Wheel of Fortune.
Yep.
Pat Sajak and Vanna White.
Oh, what they look like then and what they look like now.
Oh my God, Vanna White. I'm serious. I hate to say it. I don't know who's got more plastic surgery done, her or Pat Sajak.
I think Pat Sajak.
Oh my God!
I mean, Pat looks like he's like a walking mannequin.
And her face, I just don't even know. She doesn't even look the same. Not even close to the same.
No, well,
I mean, I guarantee she's had so many facelifts, her ears meet in the back. I'm telling you, it's bad.
But the thing
bad,
is,
buddy.
I just after I'm watching this, and they're showing, all these, favorite stars and everything else, and then they keep showing, there's Theo Epstein. Yeah, there's Theo. Here, Tom Ricketts. Okay, let's show all the Cub guys here.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The fans don't get there till the third inning,
but
they leave by the seventh.
But here's the difference in the celebrity fans out in L.A. and the celebrity fans here in Chicago. We got the cool fans.
Yeah,
we got Bill Murray.
We do.
We got Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, we do.
We got Dan Aykroyd. We have
Dan Aykroyd wasn't at the game.
No, yeah.
John Cusack was at the game.
John Cusack. That's what I'm thinking of. Dan Aykroyd's Canadian. Who cares?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he doesn't care either. I mean,
no.
you bring out some hockey, he'll be there for. He'll be at the Blackhawks.
Yeah, there you go. Cusack.
You had Cusack. Yes. You had Vedder. You had Bill Murray. You got Norm, George Wendt.
Yeah, George Wendt.
Big Cub fan.
Big Cub fan.
Bob Newhart. Do you see Bob Newhart doing the Cub W thing?
No, I did not.
Oh, God,
did he?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, he said something point.
And of course,
hey guys, you got to pin these down a little bit early. My heart can't keep going like this at the end of the games, so I'm getting a little too old for it.
And you got to love it when a Cubs fan, a true Cubs fan, celebrity shows up. I mean, not one of these. They're showing up now because the Cubs are cool and they're winning and they're young and everything else. No, the guys that have been around, the guys that were around to see Harry Carey and Steve Stone do the games.
Oh yeah,
the guys that were around.
The guys are back when it was like 69 and 91 or 69 and 93 for the season.
Right, the 50 and 60 win teams.
Yes,
and you were still a fan.
Yeah.
Those are the guys. Same here. Those are the guys that I like seeing.
If you go back to the Lee Elia days.
Lee. Oh my God, the Jim
just,
Riggleman days.
You walk back to the old managers and go, remember we had Lee Elia?
I'm still
remember
like I said,
Whitey Lockman?
Riggleman.
Jim Riggleman.
Riggleman was the worst in my opinion. He was one of the worst.
Whitey Lockman was pretty damn horrible.
Now see, Whitey Lockman's before me.
Whitey Lockman was pretty damn bad.
That's before me.
Lee Elia was horrible too.
Riggs was.
Lee Elia though knew how to swear. I mean,
what makes a good manager?
You know, the one tirade he had about the fans. I think it was the day they were playing a team. I don't know if they're playing Philadelphia. So like 5,000 fans there. It was a cold, rainy day, and he went into like about a 2 or 3 minute tirade on the fans. Every other word was F this, F that, F the fans, F that, F. And you're just going, wow. They're playing this thing. He goes, and the bleep, 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 and bleep, bleep, eat, bleep, bleep, bleep. And you're going, what the heck was that? It was Lee Elia.
Oh my!
It was crazy. I'm listening to Chicago sports back then, and they keep playing this thing over and over again. All they can do is just laugh. That's all they could do is laugh. He talked about how bad the fans were, how bad the media was, how bad the city was, everything else for not coming out and supporting the Cubs. And you're going, well, if the Wrigley family would put a team out there, maybe we'd come and watch them. Because that was back in the days of the these 70 win teams. The 75 win game. It sucked.
Right.
But it's nice to see that there is a team to cheer about. And I think playing the Bartman piece, that's a good thing to do. I mean, a lot of people they only look at the Cubs for all these jinxes, all these bad things that happen. And I'm sorry, there's no such thing as a jinx. There's no such thing as bad voodoo and everything else, and bring Jobu out and let's do no. Jabu will take care of everything. No, it doesn't happen that way. You get into momentum. You get into what you're doing. Their athletes are humans. They play the game. One team's going to win and one team's going to lose. When it comes down to critical situations, either you're going to make that play or you're going to not make the play. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. I mean, I don't know. I look at Bartman and you just go, you talk about a guy that could never go back home after that thing.
Right.
As soon as they brought his name out, he might have said, that's it. They're going down to St. Louis. The only place they would have welcomed him around there.
Right. Well, I don't know. Probably the Marlins would have enjoyed his company.
Well, or White Sox. He could have gone down the south side, and the White Sox would have welcomed him.
All right, so here's a little bit of Cubs trivia for you. This is this will. I just happened to look this up because we were talking about Cubs managers, which, by the way, looking at all of these, I would say the earliest manager I remember.
I remember Leo DeRocher.
Earliest manager I remember is.
DeRocher was there to about 70, 71? And it was Whitey Lockman, I believe, in 72.
DeRocher, 66 to 72. And Whitey Lockman, 72 to 74.
Yeah.
I think I remember, let's see here. I can remember Gene Michael.
Oh, Stick.
I remember Frank Lucchesi.
Oh, God. Frank was only there he wasn't there that long. Wasn't there for a year?
No, he was interim just for 87.
He was there for half a year.
And then, of course, I remember Don Zimmer, and that's when it really starts becoming a lot more clear.
Zimmer, Popeye.
Yep. All right, so here you go.
Okay.
When was the last time the Cubs went to – this is obviously easy. When was the last time the Cubs went to the World Series? Not won it, went to it.
1945.
1945. Who was the manager?
In 1945?
Yes, sir.
Was that a chance?
No.
I have no clue.
Actually, you were almost right. Frank Chance was the manager when the Cubs won the World Series, 1905 to 1912.
There you go.
Of course, they won in 1908.
Woo!
1945, Roy Johnson was the interim manager at the time, last time they went to the World Series. It's funny because he was the interim manager for 4 years. I don't know how.
He's waiting for the good kid to come by?
Apparently. I don't know.
Let's bring Lou Boudreau in here. No, Lou Boudreau, he was He was the manager for Cleveland, wasn't he? for a while?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
The good kid.
The good kid. Yes. I mean, man, look at just going over.
I can't look at you're holding
the Cubs manager. Just going over the Cubs managers just since the turn of the century, year 2000. This century, I mean, because obviously the Cubs have played baseball in 3 centuries now.
Well, they had Dusty Baker.
Yeah,
was he? He was in 2000.
First, before Dusty Baker, they had Don Baylor.
Okay. Yep.
Then Renee Latchman.
Okay.
Bruce Kim.
They were both interims. They were
interims.
because Latchman was up in Milwaukee.
Right. Dusty Baker.
Yep.
Until 2006. After Dusty Baker.
Oh, was that Mike Quade?
Nope. Sweet Lou Piniella.
Oh, Lou Piniella. Okay. And then they had Quade.
Then Mike Quade. And then
it was it Renteria at that time? No, who was the guy that they got?
Dale Swaim.
Dale Swaim, and then
then Rick Renteria, and then of course Joe Madden. That's just in that century.
Rick Diarrhea. Yeah, they got him down in Southside now. That's all I can think about it. Rick Renteria. Dale Swaim. Yeah, that guy from Milwaukee.
Now,
yes.
Throw this one out at you. The Cubs' first official year of Major League Baseball was?
I don't know, 1868, somewhere?
Ooh, close, 1876.
Okay.
Who was their manager?
Oh, God. Bill Wrigley.
Albert Spalding.
There you go, the Spalding ball.
Albert Spalding.
Is that the guy from Caddyshack?
Spalding! I couldn't tell you.
Spalding!
Just figured out, though, there's just a couple little pieces.
They've got a lot of history. They really do.
I mean, Cubs history there. Lots of history.
We'll throw out lots of history.
For the Chicago Cubs.
The last good manager that they had. Joe Madden. Yeah, there you go. It's like, okay, do you want to play the Dodgers or do you want to play the Nationals? The Nationals, because they got Dusty and we know what he does.
Yes.
Absolutely crap.
Hey, man. So,
hey, man.
Obviously, Major League Baseball is the talk of the town right now. It is the talk of the world.
Well, you know why?
Because the Cubs are so close to the World Series.
But you know why else? Why?
Why?
Because Notre Dame sucks.
Well, of course. Yeah, right now
were they 2-5?
I don't know. They're not even going to be bowl eligible.
Are we even going to talk about them today?
Seriously.
They're off. They're off this week.
Yeah,
I thought I'd bring them up because it's like we got to do that every week.
Yeah, they got pushed. Yeah, they got pushed off the sofa. Actually, Green Bay Chicago played last night. Big NFC.
How much
North
that game
rivalry.
Did you watch?
None.
How much? I'm the big Packer fan. How much do you think I watched?
None.
And I got asked that question. Didn't you go switch back and forth? I said, no, I watched the whole Cub game.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, they said, but the Packers
Bears
are playing. I said,
the Bears are atrocious.
Well, here's the reasoning. The Packers are playing the Bears.
Right.
They're going to play them again this year, right?
Sure.
Okay. This is only the Packers' 6th game of the season. It's the 7th in the Chicago, for Chicago.
Sure.
Okay. They're going to play at least another 10 games this year. And here's the thing: does this game mean anything? Not really.
No.
I mean, is this a game to get into the playoffs?
Nope.
No. Is it a playoff game?
Nope.
Okay. Is this a chance to watch a team that may go to the World Series for the first time in my freaking lifetime? Yeah, it is. Why would I ever want to not? I mean,
not to mention the fact there's probably 2 generations before you that never got to see them win a World Series.
This is when I can remember, and this is going to sound really horrible. I can remember my mom was dying with cancer. And
here comes Steve to bring the show down.
And we would we got our house and we sat there and we watched the Cubs play.
Okay.
And it was the week of her funeral was when the Bartman thing happened.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, you talk about, just unbelievable emotions at that time. You're just going, oh my God. This is And I'm sitting with my dad and everything, and you're just going, this is the time to watch. This would be the year the Cubs would make it.
Right.
And then that happened. You're just going, wow, okay. And I'm watching this, and and I watched so many. My first memory of the Cubs was the '69 season.
Right.
I was 8 years old, and I'm sitting there, and my dad had went out and bought that summer because the Cubs were. He bought this little black and white TV. That's when they first came out with the little portable TVs.
Right. Sure.
And he had a little black and white TV, and he put it over in the living room because my mom didn't want to watch baseball. So on the big TV that we had in the family room there, that was for her to watch whatever she wanted at night and everything else, and we would go in there, and he'd turn the game on this little black and white TV.
Right.
And I can remember going in there, sitting on the carpet, and just watching the Cubs and going, come on, come on, come on. And then when they blew it, I can remember being just so despondent and everything else. And then we got to 2008. And you're going, wow, this is something. This is gonna, this was, tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember just, watching these games and you're just going, unbelievable. And, I just wished at this time, I'm watching these games and I sit there and watch, I just, have that memory and just thinking of my dad sitting there with me.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that if they're winning, he's sitting up there looking down, just saying, I'm right there with you. I can just see that little black and white TV, and you just go, here it is. And that's the whole microcosm of a Cub fan.
Yeah.
Cub fans have gone their whole lives without seeing their team win a World Series. Some of them have gone their whole life without seeing their team get to the World Series. I'm one of them. And,
same here.
And it's to a point to where you got this chance to watch this team that you saw last year just start to break out and then bloom this year, and you don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss a single bit of this ride.
Right.
And if it means that I'm going to stay up until 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have to get back up at 6, I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm hoping they get to the World Series. I'm hoping I get another chance to go down to Four Winds Field and they do another thing. They said that, hey, if they get to the World Series, maybe they'll do it again. I hope they do, because I want to go down there and sit in the locker room or go out in the field, out in the stands, and just sit there and soak in as much Cubs as I can. Because there's no guarantee. I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to do it again. And and that's something that I really, really just sit here and just love watching. I miss the fact that my son isn't here watching the game with me. That's the thing that I'd love. I mean, I talk to him. We text back and forth, and we talk and everything else, but it's not the same.
Right.
So this is. I mean, if you're a Cub fan, you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
Because
Absolutely.
it's just it's something that hey, I don't care about the Packers right now. I don't care about Notre Dame. I don't care about whatever else is going on in the sports world. To me, the sports world right now revolves around baseball, and it revolves around the Chicago Cubs. And and that just to me, I could sit here. We could talk the whole 2 hours tonight about the Cubs. It wouldn't bother me one bit. And we could just sit back here and tell stories and have a blast. And to me, that is tremendous, because that is sports.
It really is, but unfortunately, we
I know.
do have a few other things to cover.
I know. We got to cover the NFL.
I like the story though. I mean, that was a great story, and every Cubs fan has a story. That's the thing. Every Cubs fan has a story. It doesn't matter how old, how young. Every Cubs fan has their why I'm a Cubs fan story.
Yeah,
it's great. In fact, if you're listening and you want to share yours, I'd love to hear it. Just go to the Cheap Seats Facebook page and post it, hashtag why I'm a Cubs fan. Would love to see that.
And the thing is that I was reading something prior to the playoffs started.
Uh-huh.
And they were showing these Cubs fans that were 98 and 99. They'd been fans for so long.
Right.
And someone said, wouldn't it be nice if the Cubs would take some of these old fans, if they make it to the World Series, take 25 seats a game, and let these guys come and watch it. Treat them like kings and queens.
Right.
Whatever you want. You want a hot dog? You want a soda? You want a beer? What do you want?
Right.
It's on us.
Right. You stuck through us.
I tell you,
with us through
I would think that when you talk about marketing, that would be the hugest and best marketing tool ever done ever.
You wouldn't even have to go very far.
No.
Just go to some of the local Chicago senior centers, and I'm sure
just start
there are
picking
Cubs fans all over the place.
And the thing is that what's it costing you? 25 seats. It's costing you what? 25 hot dogs. Maybe some peanuts, maybe some nachos. Maybe some Geritol. I don't know. Some soda and beer. Some hot tea. Maybe some coffee. Just the idea of taking and giving back to these fans that have been with this team that for the last God knows how long,
right,
has sucked or either sucked or disappointed in the end.
Right.
I went through back in the 88 when what was it, or 84, when they had to play the San Diego Padres. They win the first two at Wrigley, go out to San Diego and lose the next three. They don't go to the World Series.
Right.
I went through all those different years. And the thing is a Cub fan, hey, wait till next year. I mean, that's who created that phrase? It had to be a Cub fan. Wait till next year.
Yeah,
wait
it
till next year. Wait till next year because we did it so long. Go out there and grab some of these old-time fans. Bring them to the game. I mean, I would say, Theo, Jed, Ricketts family, take your booth, set it up with 25 to 50 seats, and bring these people up there and let them watch it up there. Cater it to them. Bring them whatever the hell they want. You talk about making millions off of that marketing-wise? Do you talk about the goodwill and everything you're earning, not just in Chicago, but in the world?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you go back, okay, what did that cost us? It cost us absolutely nothing. Nothing. Because just the win off of that, it would be unbelievable. And it surprises me. I haven't heard anything more about it because that would just be unbelievable. It really would be.
Right.
And I would think as good at marketing as the Cubs have been and Ricketts family has been and so forth, that's something that they would have done.
You would think. You would think they would have done something like that.
Well, and the thing is they aren't at the World Series yet, and we don't know if maybe they will do something like that. I think that would, you talk about a huge win.
That would be huge.
Oh, my God.
That would. So, all right, well, we've got to take a break now. When we come back,
I'll get back off my soapbox.
I promise we will talk about something other than the Chicago Cubs. I'm still not sure why, but I know we have to.
I trust you. I will try and work it back to the Chicago Cubs.
I'm sure you will, and that's all coming on the other side of this. This is the Cheap Seats on XCRS Radio.
You're listening to XCRS Radio, bringing you classic rock live from Pleasant Valley.
Hi, I'm John Brasser from Team Consulting, Inc. At Team Consulting, we can help your business navigate the maze of governmental regulations that can be overwhelming for any business. We offer over 60 years of experience in environmental engineering, safety consultation, and ISO 9001 quality solutions. We're located right here in Michiana. Give us a call at 574-229-0927. Tell them you heard it on XCRS Radio.
From all of the games on our big screens to the best collection of memorabilia from your favorite sports greats, Rock Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Mishawaka has you covered. Our menu features something for everyone. Amazing sandwiches and wraps, and the best burgers around, including the Rockstar Overdose, 2 half-pound patties, served with bacon, cheddar cheese, and piled high with French fries. Like us on Facebook to check out our daily food and drink specials that are sure to be great on your gut and easy on your wallet. We've got you covered between game days, too. Wednesday night is trivia night where you can match wits with your buddies for great prizes. And every weekend, Rocks features great music from some of Michiana's finest artists. Come see why there's no better place to get your fan fix than Rocks Sports Bar and Grill in the Yorktown Center building in downtown Mishawaka. For those who come to Rocks, we salute you.
Whether it's a hot rod or a grocery getter, DDW Automotive and Transmission has you covered. Since 1991, they've been located at 204 South Beach Road in Osceola, Indiana. Stop by or call 574-651-5000. Ask for Dave. Tell him you heard about him on XCRS Radio. With over 46 years experience in the automotive and transmission repair business, they offer all your high-performance service and maintenance needs. Bring your ride to DDW. If your tranny misbehaves, just call Dave.
Life is meant to be savored. If you find the reason, Morgan's and the Little Black Dog Tavern in downtown Mishawaka, Indiana will make it special. From the casual European atmosphere to the high-end tavern fare, Morgan's and the Little Black Dog Tavern give you the chance to savor every day. Stop in and savor your day with your choice of a wide variety of drinks, from a classic martini to the best beers from local breweries. Savor your day on the patio, or come in and enjoy a glass of wine with some of our mouth-watering entrees. We're located in the historic Cam Brewery Stable Building in the 100 Center in downtown Mishawaka, Indiana. Call 574-807-0101 for reservations. Like us on Facebook to find out today's food and drink specials, or stop by our website at morgansandlbd.com. Drink in the moments, feast on the memories, savor every day at Morgan's and the Little Black Dog Tavern.
Since 1980, Mr. G's has been serving up good food, good drinks, and great times. Located at 708 Lincoln Way West in the heart of Osceola. They are open 364 days a year with live music on the weekends and food and drink specials every day. Like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, and check out their website at MrGofOC.com. Stop in every Thursday for a world-famous prime rib or to watch your favorite sports events on their many HD TVs. Smoking is allowed, so you must be 21 or over.
Hey, this is Kelly Sue Dennis, the voice of the Michiana scene on XCRS Radio. Join me on Monday nights at 6 o'clock in Pleasant Valley. We welcome in local musicians, listen to their stories, and play their tunes. If you want to know what's happening for the week, tune in to XCRSradio.com. And remember, it's a world live radio, baby. Do what you love and love what you do. Monday nights with Kelly Sue.
And we're back. The Cheap Seats on XCRS Radio. Of course, if you missed the first hour of the show.
And why would you do that?
You are completely crazy if you did. But if, for whatever reason, we are a forgiving bunch of people here at the Cheap Seats.
That's because we need listeners. That's because
we like
good
you.
guys.
We
That's
just
right.
like you.
We do.
So
we like you.
We provided a podcast for you, and it's on Spreaker or iHeartRadio. Just go to either of those, Spreaker or iHeartRadio. You can do it right from your mobile phone, and just search the Cheap Seats.
And we'll have it on Facebook on our Cheap Seats page there.
Yep.
We should probably have it on Twitter.
Yep.
And I will actually have it on my my page, Steve Detterman, Sports Host.
And there you go.
So that'll be on Facebook there. Take a look at that too.
Plenty of ways you can listen. I would strongly suggest you tune in and check it out, especially the first hour if you're a Cubs fan.
If you're not a Cubs fan, who cares? Why are you listening now? Come in. Oh, yeah, it's because we're not going to be talking Cubs, but I'll work it around to there sooner or later.
Oh, probably not.
It'll be amazing how I move little bits and pieces in there.
Nice. NFL Week 7.
Oh, it
started
out last night on a good foot, didn't it?
Did start out last night.
That's
Green
right.
Bay, no Eddie Lacy.
No, but the Cubs still won.
They did pick up Niall Davis. You're not going to get me. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. They did pick up Niall Davis from the Kansas City Chiefs. He did not play last night.
Yes, he did. He did play.
Did he play?
Yeah, he played towards the end. I think they gave him when the game was over. I think they gave him a couple handoffs.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think they said, now come over here.
Yeah, didn't play in any kind of real capacity.
The play is Red Robin left 67-45. Okay, now here, come here. You stand over here on the left side of me. When the ball comes back, I'm just going to give it to you. You go around the right end, okay? Okay, there you go.
You know, somewhere Bill Belichick just wrote that down.
He probably did.
I mean, use this later.
Because he, Niall's going, what the hell play did you just call? Aaron, what the hell was that? Okay, stand over here, and when the ball comes back, hesitate, go to the right, grab the ball, and run. Okay. Now they got Niall Davis. The only Niall I know. I think I was thinking that the One Direction guys just broke up. That Niall guy that for the One Direction guy came and played.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I will have you know, Niall Davis
came in.
Niall Davis came in and did a phenomenal job when Jamal Charles got hurt 2 years ago.
Yeah, he had one season where he did very well, and then all of a sudden he found himself behind Skandrick and a couple other guys.
Wow.
And again, Charles.
Well,
what was he? Was he fourth string?
Third string.
Yeah. Okay. Same place.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
no. He was fourth because Spencer Ware's had him too.
No, Spencer Ware is considered a different back. I think he's considered a fullback.
But he was still ahead of him. He was behind. I remember reading that. He said he was still behind Spencer Ware.
Oh, okay. Well,
so he was number 4.
Then he would be number 4 technically.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, you've got Jamal Charles, Spencer Ware, and Charkandrick West in front of you. It's actually a really good murderer's row, if you ask me.
Well, it is. We have,
Niall Davis is still no slouch.
We have James Stark knee surgery, Eddie Lacy ankle surgery. The guy that they brought in off the practice squad last night hurt his arm and was gone the first quarter.
So pretty much what you're saying is you break all the toys you
get. And
of
course, we gave away John Kuhn. Why? I don't know, because we got this Ripkowski guy. So he played, but he can only you sit there and snort and throw snot out of his nose because he's a fullback. That's right. We put Randall Cobb back there and Ty Montgomery back there, and we had Aaron Rodgers throw the ball 60 times.
So what you're saying is you break all the toys you get.
No. I think Randall Cobb still played well.
No, I'm just referring to running backs.
Oh, running backs.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
you break all of your good toys.
It's a passing league anyway.
There you go. Anyhow, the Packers, regardless of who was carrying the ball, did a number on the Chicago Bears, who are reeling in more ways than one. Now, of course, have even bigger quarterback issues. And
right, you didn't know this until I brought that up, did you?
What
about Hoyer?
No. I had actually heard about it this morning. Brandon Hoyer, of course, getting his arm broken when he was sandwiched by Julius Peppers and Clay Matthews. So it was, from what I understand, it was fairly routine hit. Just fell the wrong way.
Well, no, he got crunched.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, he got hit by Peppers, and then Matthews hit him on the other side, and the arm just went in a weird way, not the way it's supposed to go.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, not good.
And he was actually screaming in pain right away.
Ugh.
So I mean, you've seen people that break and they walk off. They say, "Hey, it kind of hurts a little bit. I don't know what's going on."
Right.
He was actually screaming in pain.
Oh my!
So. The Davis last night, 2 carries, 1 yard.
2 carries.
1 yard, yeah. The Packers actually carried the ball, looks like about 23 times. They did gain over 100 yards rushing, too.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty surprising.
Their big running back was Ty Montgomery, 9 carries for 60 yards, and then Randall Cobb, 5 for 21. Rodgers only passed the ball 56 times.
Yeah, is that all?
Yeah.
JJ. What's up, John? Check it out. Same Bose headphones.
Nice.
I like those. That was Clay Matthews.
That was really
39
loud.
completions. He came close to setting. Well, I think he did. Did he set I think he set a Packer record for most completions in a game.
Right.
So 39 for 56. That's not bad.
No, that's not horrible.
No. I mean, it's 70%. Oh, what the heck? I'll take it.
Right.
So, but a lot of big games this week, though, coming up, aren't there?
There are actually quite a few huge games this week. One of them is actually going to be across the pond. And
another one. Are you getting tired of games? Have you gotten tired of games now?
It actually doesn't bother me because then I get to start watching football at like 8 in the morning.
That's true, and I am off this weekend, so I can do the same thing. But I still have to catch up on some sleep because Saturday night the Cubs are going to play again.
Oh yeah. Now Josh Brown, of course, is not going to be with the Giants as they go to London to face the Los Angeles Rams.
Let's talk about this a little bit.
This, of course, stemming from allegations of Josh Brown being accused of domestic violence with the NFL's personal conduct policy that garners a suspension.
When did this happen? When did this this alleged domestic violence happen? Does it have it in there? It was like, what, last year? It was last year because they brought it up before the season started. And the NFL decided there was no charges at the time.
He was arrested in May of 2015, which started the clock on a 10-month NFL investigation.
And they came up and they said, well, here, blah, 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 nothing here. We aren't going to suspend him. And now all of a sudden it comes out that the police reports come out that he admitted that he did this.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What was the NFL looking at for 10 months? What the hell are they looking at?
I don't know.
That all of a sudden now 6 games into the season, oh, wow, the police reports come out and said that he did. Now we've got to time out. Didn't you do a 10-month investigation?
Yeah, and in fact, they cited difficulty to obtain information, the fact that charges were dismissed by a local prosecutor initially, and so Brown only had to sit out the season opening win over the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, do you think this is something that the NFL, God forbid, the NFL screwed up again?
Well, the problem here is the NFL is so concerned about protecting the shield and only protecting the shield that they go way overboard on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I get that, but this is you suspended Adrian Peterson for a full year. Right. Ray Rice is never going to see an NFL football field.
No.
Okay.
Not unless he's coming to watch the game.
No, and as far as we know, this could have been just as bad. That just as charges when we don't have video on it.
Right.
But here's this whole thing where you've got these charges. You spend 10 months going over this.
Right.
10 months, and it's right there in the police report that he basically admitted to doing it. Yeah, and I look at this, I go, okay. Now the other thing that amazes me is the Giants had to know this too, and the Giants kept this guy.
Right. And what did the Giants do? They ended up not worrying about it until the NFL finally came down on him and said, "Look, he's not going to London."
Right. The NFL has got to. They got to make up their mind. If you're going to make this part of your policy, if you're going to put this out there that you want to clean up the shield and you want to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to make sure that the NFL is family friendly, we're trying to cut down the concussions. I want to, I'll put it this way, I'll give them a pat on the back for their concussion protocol this year. I think they've done a tremendous job of keeping people out and making sure that everything is being checked on the sidelines and everything else. I think they've done a tremendous job. If they had a couple slip-ups here and there, I'm sure they have. But when you come to something like this that you take 10 months to investigate and you can't pull that up and you let this guy play, and then finally when it does leak out that this happened, I guess now we got to do something.
Right.
Hey, come on, guys. You sit to go. You just shake your head and go, "What the hell?" Though it did give Robbie Gould another chance to get back in the NFL.
This is true.
And all you Bear fans that were upset that Robbie Gould's no longer he is now. He's playing for the Giants again.
There you go.
But what do you think?
Well, personally, I think that the criminal investigation needs to be done before the NFL steps in and does anything. But of course, the NFL is a franchise that's all about overreaction, and because of what happened with the Ray Rice incident, now anything that has the tag domestic violence is immediately cast out, by the NFL, and without letting the justice system do their due diligence, they will immediately just start throwing anybody and everybody under the bus as hard as they can.
But they didn't do that this time.
But they didn't do it initially. But I think they're going to try it again.
Well, I understand that, and my question to you is that is this something that you think that with all because when they suspended Ray Rice, they got a lot of backlash for that. They got a lot of backlash for suspending. They got a lot of backlash for the whole investigation up and how long it took and everything else that went along with that.
Right.
Do you think that they just, all of a sudden, it's like, well, we don't want to jump the gun and there's nothing filed, so let's just kind of brush it under the table?
Well, once again, overreaction does not necessarily have to be in an aggressive stance. Overreaction can also be just no reaction whatsoever. And sometimes I think the NFL has moved from one extreme to the other. Whereas with the Ray Rice thing, it was immediately overreaction. Immediately, as soon as they got called out for giving him a paltry 2-game suspension. They got called out right away.
One for each fest.
Yeah, they immediately dialed it back and said, nope, you're gone for a year, and then threw it out there. And yay, look at the NFL, they're being responsible. When no, really all they're doing is just making sure that their butts are covered.
And I want to make clear, I'm not laughing at the fact that Ray Rice, committed that heinous crime. I'm laughing at the fact that the NFL just, you talk about having something right there in your hand and just botching it. I mean, with everything that's gone on over the last couple of years, just the black eye after black eye after black eye that the NFL has taken, and then you watch them, try and mend a little bit with their concussion protocol over the last year. They've done it, and now again, you set yourself up to get smacked right in the eye again,
right?
Because you don't do what you said you're going to do.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that that really ticks me off. And you remember me, back a couple years ago when this all come up, I was backing Roger Goodell, and I said, hey, maybe he doesn't know this and blah blah. You know what? When it keeps happening over and over and over again,
right?
It's not just something just happened. This is a trend,
right?
And this is a sick, sad trend that's happening inside the NFL. And the owners are going to have to take a look at it because, from what I saw, they're looking at some of the ratings for the NFL games. Ratings for NFL is down.
The ratings for the NFL, in my opinion, they're down for a lot of reasons. There are all kinds of weird stories around, too. Some are saying because it's an election year. That's kind of what the NFL is going with right now. Some of them are saying it's because of Colin Kaepernick and some of the players that have actually started to protest the national anthem and are more or less sponsored by Black Lives Matter, which is really a polarizing, I don't care what side you're on, they're still a very polarizing group of people.
I don't believe that.
And, well, these are all theories
right.
out there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different theories. There are the theory that Major League Baseball, the playoffs are on, and you have the Cubs in it, you have the Indians in it. That's two teams, neither of which have ever won a World Series in the last 100 years.
What do you think? What's your opinion? What's your opinion?
Why do I think the NFL ratings are down?
Yeah.
There's a culmination of a lot of things.
Okay.
But I think the biggest is the game has been watered down.
Mm-hmm.
It has been watered down badly, and the reason it has been watered down is in this name of safety. So you start changing rules, you start taking things away, you start making the game boring.
And I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you to a certain point. I just think that what we're seeing is we're seeing bad football. I mean, we're
certainly seeing bad officiating.
I mean,
but bad football.
Okay, and that's what I'm getting to. It's not just it's bad football, but it's bad officiating. I mean, God knows how many penalty flags you just have to sit there and watch. How many times you have to sit there and watch, piss poor cornerbacks beat the crap out of a wide receiver and nothing be called. Or everything, or called so damn tight that a game that should be over with by 6 o'clock is going until 8 o'clock at night because they can't they can't stop the flags from coming down.
And one of the catalysts of that is the new collective bargaining agreement not allowing players to practice any more than X amount of time, X amount of days, and whatnot. And that really helps tie the hands of the coaches as well.
Well, I think so, and but it's just the play on the field. It's not engaging. And here's the other thing: take a look at the teams that are winning. I mean, name an exciting team out there. Name one team that, by God, I can't. And I'm not going to say Kansas. I don't want you to say Kansas City. I'm not going to say Green Bay. Name a team out there that you get to football, and I love football, and you love football.
Right.
How many teams can you mention that if they're going to play on Sunday, you don't want to miss that game?
Boy, there's only a couple. Without going with either of our favorite teams, I would say.
Yeah, without any of your favorite teams.
Maybe the Patriots.
Okay.
Be a team that I would like to see, and that's because it's always good football.
Right.
Tom Brady.
Name one more.
Right now, Buffalo. Just because as good as what they're doing, but that wouldn't be an every year, all the time thing.
Well, no, and to be honest with you, Buffalo. I understand what you're saying. I don't know. I've got the the NFL Sunday ticket, and I can watch every game.
Sure. So do I.
And and I've put on Red Zone and watched and everything else.
Right, same here.
The last 2 years, I have found myself with Red Zone on.
Yeah.
And I'm not watching. I'm listening, but
Right.
I'm doing something else because what I'm seeing is not exciting. It's not compelling.
Right.
Name me the stars now.
Right.
That's what the NFL is missing. They don't have the name stars out there.
Right.
Tom Brady, yes, he's still a name star, but he's not the star that he used to be.
Uh-huh.
I think that the game itself is gotten so watered down. The game, it's not as you take away a lot of the hard hits.
Right.
And the hard hits, that's part of the game. That's part of the agreement that you have as a kid when you put those pads on, is you're going to hit hard.
And you're going to have to take a hit.
Yes, and you're going to get hurt. I wake every morning, I bend my knees and I put my arm over. I can feel, my knees crack every time. They'll crack 3,000 times in a day because if I don't move it on a consistent basis, it tends to lock.
That's not good.
No. My shoulder from dislocating it in high school, playing football.
Right.
I can tell you when a storm is coming in. Damn, I can tell you when a storm's coming in.
The old trick knee.
There are different things out there that you can do, but that's the
Right.
agreement. I still love football. I'd still go play it today.
Right.
But, when you're sitting there and you're watching this, there's no compelling game out there. The Sunday night games, the game I watched on Sunday night, Green Bay and Minnesota. I have not watched, I don't think, another Sunday night game this year.
Really?
When was the last Monday night game you watched?
Oh, God. It's last year sometime.
Okay. Have you watched a Thursday night game that did not have Kansas City in it?
No.
Okay. When was the last Sunday night game you watched that didn't have Kansas City in it?
That was the first Sunday night game.
Which was?
The Patriots, or wait, was that? No, that was it was the NFC Championship game. Rematch.
It was the Panthers and Arizona.
Yes, Panthers, Arizona.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We can sit there and go back and the games aren't compelling right now.
Right.
And yes, I think baseball is taking a little bit of a buzz.
Yeah,
from
they're
it.
taking a little bit of their thunder.
I think the presidential election, coming up and everything leading up to it
might take a little bit.
But here's the thing:
if you're running up against the debates, that might be taken.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, there were two debates. Where they had three debates. The second debate came up against a football game.
Right.
Okay, I watched the debate. Actually, I didn't. I actually watched the Cubs. I taped the debate because the Cubs were playing.
Completely forgot about the football game.
But I had no interest in it.
Right.
But the thing is I watched the Cubs and then I watched the debate. This time, I watched the Cubs and I taped the debate. I haven't watched the debate yet. I've read about it and everything, but I haven't watched it yet.
Right.
But the thing is that football was also on, has been on.
Mm-hmm.
Football was on last night with the Cubs game.
Right.
I bet you, and they had a marquee matchup, Bears Packers.
Yeah.
Huge rivalry.
Big. Very big.
I mean, and I'll bet you right now that the ratings for that stunk.
As does the ratings for just about every NFL game right now. I mean, there are so many people that are watching their team, and that's it.
And here's where you get to the point when the NFL goes to seek that TV package again. This is something that they've got a couple years before they have to do that again. I think maybe 4 or 5 years, five.
Yeah, I think it's like 2018 or 2019.
Okay, but when they start doing, they're going to have to start taking a look at this, and this is going to have to start driving what they do as far as with these teams. You're talking about Oakland moving down to Las Vegas now. Las Vegas passed the thing to build that stadium.
Yeah.
Is that going to generate any excitement? Not to me, it isn't. Does it generate excitement for you?
No. It's going to generate excitement basically for the people of Las Vegas, and that's it.
Here's the thing about that deal is that they're counting on not just people from Las Vegas going, but people flying in to see it and staying at Vegas.
Oh, sure.
That was their whole selling point to get that stadium.
Right.
Is that we're going to fill it not with just people from Las Vegas, but we're going to fill half the stands with people coming from out of town to come in, and then they're going to stay at your hotels. I just like, wow, okay. That's like going down to, what was it, St. Petersburg when they tried to get the White Sox down there way back when? We're going to do this and promise you this and this and this and this, and then they end up staying in Chicago.
Right.
But, I mean, the NFL has got to, they got to start taking a look at this because it isn't compelling. The games have gotten to where it becomes a review review after review after review after review. Yeah, we only give them 3 challenges. But when you're sitting there taking a look at every touchdown play, you're taking a look, does he have the ball when he's going out of bounds? Does he have this? We got to look at it 20 different times from 15 different angles.
Right.
And it takes 10 minutes for them to do it. Playing down in Tampa Bay, you get the Lightning and you got an hour delay. They had 2 weeks in a row. They had like hour and a half delay. I mean, it just I don't see the excitement. I don't see the star power anymore. Where are the new young stars of the NFL?
I think that's going to be part of the problem that's just going to have to kind of work itself out. You can't create superstars in the NFL.
No.
They're going to have to be there or they're not.
Well, yeah, but the league itself has to help create them.
Right, but these guys need to be a mega talent that has the capability of transcending the league, the sport, and everything.
Here are your top quarterbacks. Now, I want you to stop me when you got someone that just goes above and beyond. That, by God, I got to watch him. Matt Ryan,
okay,
Sam Bradford,
all right,
Matthew Stafford, Phillip Rivers, Dak Prescott. There's a young guy you can start going after. Drew Brees, Carson Wentz. I mean, even Carson Wentz coming in as much as he has, he's not. Who really gives a crap? Ben Roethlisberger,
right.
Derek Carr, Brian Hoyer, Andy Dalton, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck. They had a chance with Luck, and I think they've blown that. But then this team has done that too because they haven't put a product on the field. Cody Kessler, who? Trevor Siemian, who? Tyrod Taylor, what? Aaron Rodgers, 17th rated quarterback. So one of your faces that you have out there is your 17th rated quarterback right now.
Right. Not even one of the best players in the game.
Tom Brady missed the first 4 weeks of the season.
And there are a lot of people.
Because you decided to keep him out.
And there are a lot of people that don't watch New England just out of matter of principle.
Right. Your guy, Alex Smith, 18th. Kirk Cousins, Eli Manning, Marcus Mariota, Ryan Tannehill, Case Keenum, Carson Palmer, Cam Newton is 25th. Blake Bortles, Joe Flacco. Remember Joe Flacco, the face of football there for a while?
Yeah.
27th rated quarterback this year.
Wow.
Jameis Winston, God, he can't miss, 28th. Brock Osweiler, what a great pickup by the Texans, 29th. Blaine Gabbert and Ryan Fitzpatrick, all the way down at the bottom.
Wow.
I mean, when you start taking a look at these quarterbacks, and quarterback is a key marquee position. Other than Tom Brady, which one of these guys really sits there and lights the fire for you and says, I got to watch him?
Really, on offense, there's nobody.
To me, there's one right now I want to watch.
Who?
Dak Prescott.
Fair enough.
You and I talked about the Cowboy game. I said I don't think Dak Prescott once he gets to a good defense and blah blah blah. And 1 week ago, I downgraded this man. I watched him play. I was impressed. I was impressed with what he did, how he handled himself, how he handled that team. His calm, his demeanor, and everything else. I think he's a real deal. And I think that they can use that because he's young enough and he has that poise in that he could do it.
Right.
But the thing I'm worried about is that he's not flashy. The thing he has going for him that a lot of people don't have going for him is he plays for Dallas. And depending on how Dallas uses him, they can either break him or just really put him up into a godlike status in football.
Right.
So, but I mean, when you take a look at these quarterbacks, and honest to God, when you start looking at how are you going to put the league out there, the league is based on quarterbacks, always has been. It really has. But right now, if you take a look at the quarterbacks, there's nothing out there really that just screams, hey, this is the market. This is the marketable guy. This is the Jerry West. The basketball went off on Jerry West. I mean, the NBA logo itself, there he is. And that's what basketball went. Who is football going on now? It used to be Tom Brady. It used to be Joe Montana. You could walk right down to the quarterbacks in that. You had Brett Favre. You had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not playing to the level this year.
Right.
That creates that. The old State Farm thing 4 years ago.
Right.
How big was that?
That was huge.
Right. Now we go to, you say, well, what about the running backs? Ezekiel Elliott, still young, doesn't say much. LaShawn McCoy, no one cares anymore. This is his first year.
No.
And I understand that, but I said he's young. He hasn't had a chance to really, pull out anything.
Right.
LaShawn McCoy, David Johnson, DeMarco Murray, Lamar Miller, Devontae Freeman, LeGarrette Blount, Frank Gore. Name me a name out of there that just says, "Hey, this is Hall of Fame. This is someone that's going to be. This is someone that's going to be with us for 8 to 10 years. This is our next Emmitt Smith. This is the next LaDainian Tomlinson. This is the next Adrian Peterson."
It would be really hard to say that at this point.
Yeah,
to any team.
But there's no one on there that screams out, "This guy is going to be doing this for the next 5 years, even."
This is true.
And I look at this and you go, okay, this is what's happening to the NFL. Who do you market? What do you market? You got all this bad press with concussions. You got all the bad press with these things. Who are you going to market to overcome this?
I really don't know. You have nobody. You have nobody coming through the college ranks that's really ready to step into the NFL spotlight like that, and you really don't have anybody in the NFL right now, save for a Tom Brady, that really can be that marketable guy. I mean, you just had Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning spent all of those years being the co-face of the NFL alongside Manning. And now that Peyton's gone, if you notice, there are still some places that are still using his face. I mean, what's the pizza place? Papa John's.
Papa John's. They
still
go crazy
use the
with it.
hell out of Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And he was such a marketable guy. He was a very genuine person, very marketable. You've got to find another one of those. Do you have him in a Dak Prescott? It's going to be way too early to tell. Do you have him in like Ezekiel Elliott? It's going to be way too early to tell.
They have to win a Super Bowl. I mean, that's the thing that markets them. Aaron Rodgers became marketable when he won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady became marketable when he won Super Bowls. Peyton Manning, he became marketable. He was marketable before, but he did that on his own, going to Saturday Night Live and doing some different things there. He went out of the norm to do things. But then when he won the Super Bowl, even more. Right now, I mean, if you take a look at it, Russell Wilson's won a Super Bowl. Is he marketable? No, because he really doesn't exude anything. He's blah. Here's another question for you.
Okay.
I want to get your opinion. Do you think that we've finally reached the point to where football itself has just oversaturated its own self to be, you have games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Have they glutted the market right now to where, Monday, where it's too much?
See, a lot of that really depends on who you ask.
Right.
If you ask a true fan of the game and the sport.
And that's you and that's me.
I would say maybe not glutted it to the point of being oversaturated, but maybe they've watered the game down so much that those of us who are the biggest fans, which are the guys and ladies,
right,
that are the purists, they want to see two teams beat the crap out of each other for 60 minutes for fight over that piece of real estate. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see a ton of flags. We don't want to see challenge after challenge. We definitely don't want to see bad calls and lopsided scores. We want a good game that's called well, and that's really all we want. And if you're a true football fan, it doesn't matter if you have 5 days a week. Doesn't matter if you have games 3 days a week. Now, will you always be able to watch them? Will you always be available to get to them? No, probably not. But let's think about it. Monday Night Football, they've had Monday Night Football for
forever.
50 years.
Love it. Don't stop it.
Monday Night Football is always going to be there. It's been there since, like I said, since the 50s.
It's not. 70s.
70s. I'm sorry. What was I thinking? I don't know.
I don't know,
Anyhow,
but hey, that's okay.
I was like, I'm only 2 decades off.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
all.
You're okay.
All right. So you've got, Monday Night Football that's been there for 40 years. And you have, that's what I meant. I was thinking almost 50 years, not 50s.
Yep.
Anyhow, so you have that. Thursday Night Football, you've had since the Thanksgiving games first started, and that was back in
but that was once a year, and
right.
that happened back. They started playing those back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah,
Detroit always had on Thanksgiving, and then when Dallas came into the league in the 60s, they started having Dallas on that day too. So you always had Dallas and Detroit play.
Right, which you still do. Everybody tunes into them. You still get the Saturday games on occasion when college football is done for the year. Yep. You get those games, and those were special at one point. They were very special. It's hey, it's Thursday. There's football on. Oh my goodness. Or hey, it's a Saturday. No college football, but you know what? The NFL's got a few games today. Those were a big deal. And then Monday night, everybody knows how big of a deal Monday Night Football is. The odd games, and especially when the NFL made the mistake of putting some of the games strictly on the NFL Network, which they finally rectified. Right. But once they did that really hurt. That hurt a lot. Fans felt like, oh wow, so you need us to pay more money to you to be able to watch your product.
See, and and to
that's
me,
a big turnoff.
No, and I understand. And to me, the Thursday night game, get rid of that damn thing. Give me just. I mean, because you got people playing on 4 days, right? Yeah, I understand the Thanksgiving Day game. I love it. I mean, you're off of work, your family's there, you're eating turkey,
Right.
you watch football,
And that's going to be that's something else.
And the thing is you have 2 games. Now you have to have 3 games on.
Yeah, because you have to have your one at night.
Yeah,
now
you have to have
for
the one at night for the
Network.
NFL Network. Yes. Okay. The Thursday, I don't like the Thursday night game.
Now, here's something else that I'm going to bring
Okay.
into the mix here about those Thursday night games, and I don't like them for this reason either. Your average person, they work Monday through Friday. They usually have the weekends off. So that means Sunday for football, you got the weekends off. Monday night, Monday
night's been a party night
that's
now.
kind of an anomaly because everybody Monday, they just want to get Monday over with. So settle down, watch some football. Don't worry about anything else. You got the rest of the week to handle it. Then comes Thursday. What comes after Thursday? Friday. That's
the weekend.
Everybody's day to start the weekend. Who's worried about staying up late to watch a football game on Thursday night when you know you got one more day of work? You got to get that hammered out, and then you can start your weekend. I just don't like the format of a Thursday evening game.
No.
And that's why.
See, and I don't like the Thursday night game. I mean, I like the Thursday Thanksgiving tradition. That's tradition.
Right.
I like the Sunday game. Do I like the Sunday night game? Not really. I don't. Okay, I mean, to me, it cheapens what happened during the day on Saturday. It also cheapens Monday night. The Sunday night game because, they wanted to get another contract with NBC because NBC lost the AFC contract, way back when to CBS when CBS lost the NFL contract to Fox. So we got to get them in there.
Right.
The Saturday games, the Saturday games when college is over, yes, I like those because those were special. You only got to see that in December. It only happened a couple times.
Right.
Monday night is an institution. How many times do you remember, hey, it's Monday night, get ready to celebrate, and it was a party. I mean, you went out and you watched the game. I can remember when the Bears were going through their almost undefeated season, a Super Bowl season, they played Miami on a Monday night, and that's when they got beat.
Right.
That was a huge party night. I can remember going out. I mean, it was just party after party. And, that's what Monday nights were. I mean, it was a night, okay, the week started, blah, blah. We got one last chance to enjoy the weekend, Monday Night Football.
Uh-huh.
But I think when you start adding these things in, and then you start getting the college games that start on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and then you get to the bowl games. I mean, I don't even want to get to bowl games we didn't even talk about. Remember when you're growing up, it was the Cotton Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Fiesta, or was the Fiesta Bowl, the Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl.
Right.
Those were your 4 big bowls.
Right.
And then they threw the Fiesta Bowl in. They added that in as the 5th one. But, I mean, you had maybe for the whole season 20 bowl games maybe. That was it. Now you have like 70. Literally you have all these bowl games that are going on, and you've taken football from Wednesday all the way through Saturday for college. Then you've got the NFL. You're running from Thursday on through Monday, and it just gets to the point where you go, okay, why is it special anymore?
Right.
I mean, I can remember college football was Saturday, and you watched your team and you kept checking the scores to see what other people were doing. And it made it exciting as hell.
Right.
Sunday was the NFL. You watched your team, but you followed the score. It was the Saturday and Sunday football. It was just excitement. You didn't leave.
Right.
They had you for those 2 days during football season.
That is correct.
Now, well, hell, I don't,
Now it's the whole week.
Packers played on Thursday.
And
am I going to watch Sunday? Hell no. I don't really care.
And it doesn't help the fact that football is now a 24-hour, 365-day a year news cycle.
Yeah.
There is no break from it. So I think sometimes it does get a little tired.
And I think that's, but, and that's something they got to take a look at because you've watered down the game.
Right.
I mean, you've made it to where, you got flags coming everywhere. You watered it down because you spread it out over every single freaking night.
Right.
But the other thing is you've lost the star power, the individual star power that made your league, that had people going forward, you created superstars. Right now, who are the superstars? Who are the budding superstars that are coming out? There aren't any.
No.
There aren't any. And Odell Beckham could have been one, but what's he done the past 4 weeks? Whined the crap out of himself and just basically destroyed any type of marketability he has.
He got married to Annette, too.
Well, but still. The thing is,
a kicking net, yes. Not a girl named Annette.
A kicking net, yeah.
Yes.
And I just, you have a chance, but you just don't have that marketable person that takes your game forward.
I know a marketable person they once had. That's this man right here. Take us back to the days of Hank Jr.
I mean, this is, get the hell rid of Faith Hill. Well, she's gone. Who's in there? Carrie Underwood? Same thing. Yeah, great legs, but I didn't come here to watch legs on the person singing.
Nice.
Yeah, I came here to watch people hit each other.
All right, well, I think this is a good time to hit that break that we need.
Hey, by the way,
to hit like 20 minutes ago.
Cubs won yesterday.
Yes,
I thought I'd bring it around.
Nice, good job. All right, Hank, take us to the commercial. We'll be right back. This is the Cheap Seats on XCRS Radio.
Drop in on Monday night time. Let it fly, boy.
Option 5, located in Mishawaka, Indiana, specializes in hand-built boutique guitar effects pedals. Option 5 has been producing the highest quality pedals right here in northern Indiana since 2002, and they continue to create original, non-copy designs today. Option 5 is not simply tweaking popular pedals and then slapping their name on them. They're producing groundbreaking effects designed for guitarists of all styles. And Option 5 doesn't just build cool pedals. They provide top-notch repair service as well. Option 5 repairs pedals and PA equipment, can modify and retube amplifiers, and service or repair Hammond organs and Leslie speakers. If you're looking for the highest quality effects pedals and the best in repair and customer service, check out Option 5 in Mishawaka at 1126 East Jefferson. Give them a call at 574-255-6539 or online at option5effects.com. That's option5fx.com. Option 5. Let tone abound.
Since 1980, Mr. G's has been serving up good food, good drinks, and great times. Located at 708 Lincoln Way West in the heart of Osceola. They are open 364 days a year with live music on the weekends and food and drink specials every day. Like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, and check out their website at
MrGofOC.com.
Stop in every Thursday for a world-famous prime rib or to watch your favorite sports events on their many HD TVs. Smoking is allowed, so you must be 21 or over.
Life is meant to be savored. If you find the reason, Morgan's and the Little Black Dog Tavern in downtown Mishawaka, Indiana will make it special. From the casual European atmosphere to the high-end tavern fare, Morgan's and the Little Black Dog Tavern give you the chance to savor every day. Stop in and savor your day with your choice of a wide variety of drinks, from a classic martini to the best beers from local breweries. Savor your day on the patio, or come in and enjoy a glass of wine with some of our mouth-watering entrees. We're located in the historic Cam Brewery Stable Building in the 100 Center in downtown Mishawaka, Indiana. Call 574-807-0101 for reservations. Like us on Facebook to find out today's food and drink specials, or stop by our website at morgansandlbd.com. Drink in the moments, feast on the memories, savor every day. At Morgan's and the Little Black Dog Tavern.
Option 5, located in Mishawaka, Indiana, specializes in hand-built boutique guitar effects pedals. Option 5 has been producing the highest quality pedals right here in northern Indiana since 2002, and they continue to create original, non-copy designs today. Option 5 is not simply tweaking popular pedals and then slapping their name on them. They're producing groundbreaking effects designed for guitarists of all styles. And Option 5 doesn't just build cool pedals. They provide top-notch repair service as well. Option 5 repairs pedals and PA equipment, can modify and retube amplifiers, and service or repair Hammond organs and Leslie speakers. If you're looking for the highest quality effects pedals and the best in repair and customer service, check out Option 5 in Mishawaka at 1126 East Jefferson. Give them a call at 574-255-6539 or online at option5effects.com. That's option, the number 5fx.com. Option 5. Let tone abound.
And we are back to Cheap Seats on XCRS Radio, getting ready to wrap it up right here. Can't wait for tomorrow,
you want me to do some rap? Is that what you said?
No. We got little runs going. We got some 5 on it. Come on. This is my jam, dude. I love, dude. This was back in the day.
This is back in the day. Put Steve asleep.
Oh, no. The baseball segment would have been enough to do that any other day. But it's the Cubs, so that doesn't work.
Hey, the Cubs won the other day. They're going to play tomorrow to go to the World Series if they win.
This is true. Won 3 out of.
They've won 3 out of 5 so far.
3 out of 5.
It's down to the best 1 of 2.
That's right. Which, hey, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I mean, if you are a Cubs fan, just real quick, I want to get to this. If you're a Cubs fan, could you have asked for a better setup for a game 6 and 7 in the NLCS? You're going back home, coming off of 2 games where your bats are starting to get hot again, your guys are starting to get confident again. You know that you've got a pitcher, 2 pitchers that are just going to be they're going to be ready to lock it down. You're going to be going up against the Dodgers' best.
Here's a question I got for you. If you're and this is a question, this is like a Joe Madden type of question.
All right.
If you're in Game 6,
yeah,
game's tight.
Sure.
2-1.
Okay.
How many relievers do you use? Because I mean, are you going to start? I mean, if it's Game 7, you're bringing everybody out.
How's Hamill pitching?
Hamill hasn't pitched yet in the series. I don't even think he's on the roster.
Or not Hamill. Not Hamill.
Lackey?
No. Who's going tomorrow?
Hendricks going.
Hendricks. That's
Hendricks has not gone over 5 innings in any of his starts in
So you have Hendricks
ever.
for 5. You have Hendricks for 5. You pitch
Montgomery for a couple.
Yeah, I'd say Montgomery for 6. Maybe Strope 7.
Rondon 8.
Yeah, I'd give Rondon 8 and then shut it down.
You got Travis Wood you can bring in. You got Justin Grimm you can bring. They have not pitched Straczynski at all.
Yeah, I don't.
Edwards.
Really see the need.
Edwards. I don't know. Is he? He came out. He was hurt the other night.
Yeah,
but they said it was nothing to worry about. But still.
No, I like Edwards as a change of pace.
No, not change of pace. Edwards was the first guy they were bringing in.
Really?
Yeah.
You think he's pitching that good right now?
When you got between Montgomery and Edwards gets up there and he's throwing the ball up there 98, 99 with the movement that he has on that thing.
Well, yeah, he's got a heater. He's got a heater that moves all over the place.
Yeah,
but Montgomery's got a few more pitches.
Well, the thing is Montgomery's on the left side and Edwards is on the right.
Well, this is true.
The thing I like about the big knock I got against Edwards is Edwards has a chance to get 2 quick outs. and then all of a sudden kind of lose concentration and walk the next guy.
Right. This is true.
That's what I worry about.
Does happen.
I like the idea of Montgomery for a couple. I'm not real sold on Grimm or Wood. They're okay coming in.
Travis Wood was better earlier in the year.
No,
right?
he actually had a good game against the Giants when Hendricks got knocked out.
Okay,
because remember he hit the home run and he pitched and he hit the home run.
That's right.
But
that was, but really, what did he do during the regular season after May?
But he had a lull there, but he came back. And here's what we talked about this before. As a Cub fan, you sit there, and the Cubs go to the bullpen. You go, oh God, what are they bringing him in for? Oh no, oh jeez, oh man, God, they're going to kill him. Yeah. And the Dodgers bring in their guy, and you go, oh my God, they're bringing him in. Oh, jeez, we never hit him. And the thing is your guy pitches good and their guy pitches lousy, and you can just imagine that you got the Los Angeles Dodgers fans on. They go, oh my God, the Cubs are bringing him. Oh, why are they bringing him in? We can never hit him. We're bringing in Blanton again. Oh God, Blanton sucks. He's terrible. What is it? What was Roberts thinking taking him out so early? It's the fan. You sit there with your guys. It's kind of like going.
Always.
Oh my God, they've got why do they have the best pitchers? Why do they have the best pitchers and we don't have them?
Always.
And they're going, why do they have all the best pitchers and we don't have them?
Right.
I'd bring it back to the Cubs again, but we do have to get to our NFL picks.
Got to
Are
get
you ready?
to the NFL picks.
We got to go quick because we're running it down here.
Yeah, we're definitely.
New York Giants at the LA Rams at England, Wembley Stadium.
And Wembley
As we
Stadium.
go over to Wembley Stadium, and we'll have the game coming up.
Before we get on this, how did we do last week?
Yeah, I didn't check.
Shit.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, that's
the week before we disagreed on I think 4 games, and I think out of those 4 games, I think you won 3 of them. I think you beat me.
Okay.
The week before, though, I crushed you, young man.
Yes, you did.
Crushed you.
You took me to the woodshed.
Okay.
All right. So
Giants, Rams, Wembley.
I like the Giants here. They travel well. They always seem to travel incredibly well with that defense. The Rams, they're still trying to get their feet under them. I think they have a lot of growing to do. This will be a good trip for them, but I think the Giants are just going to be too much. I like the Giants here in this one.
I think too much turmoil in Giant land. I'm going to take the Rams in this one. Minnesota at Philadelphia.
Minnesota, Philly. Really, the Vikings have proven so far that they're tough. They're resilient. They've lost the biggest piece of their offense that's not named Adrian Peterson, and
they lost him too.
Still, and then they turn around and lost Adrian Peterson, and they're still the only undefeated team left. I say they're going to come out of Week 7 undefeated. I
agree with you, and I agree with you on that. I think it's more defense that carries Minnesota in this one. New Orleans at Kansas City. Tough game here.
Tough game, I think, more for the Saints because their defense has all kinds of holes. They can't stop the run. Andy Reid came out after the bye week, committed to running the ball. They ran 150 yards on the Raiders, who actually have a fairly decent run-stopping defense. The Saints, a really hard time stopping the run. That said, if Drew Brees can get a few open spots, still kind of wonder what's going on with Marcus Peters, if he's going to be all right after that shot that he took against the Raiders. As far as I know, he passed the concussion protocol, should be good to go for this weekend. But Drew Brees is always going to give you an opportunity. That said, I like the Chiefs in this game. I like them at home. I like them to commit to the run, make it a fairly short game, and keep Drew Brees and the best part of that Saints team, which is its offense, off the field.
I'm gonna go with you. I think with Kansas City at home, I like New Orleans. I like their offense, passing. God, they've just been tremendous. But I'm going to go with the Kansas City defense on this one, and the running game. I think they're going to do it. Oakland at Jacksonville.
Oakland, they're really mad about the fact that they got beat up at home by the Chiefs this past weekend. I think they're going to take it out on the Jaguars. The Jaguars really had a lot better expectations than what they've panned out so far. The offense is reeling, defense is reeling, but Oakland is going to come out mad. I think Oakland's offense is going to come out on fire, and they're going to do some damage against Jacksonville. I like Oakland to win big here.
Hold your horses there, young man. I got a feeling I think Jacksonville, Oakland's pass defense, what's a good word for it? Sucked? That's a good word for it?
It was not good.
No, they're giving up over 300 yards a game.
This is true.
Jacksonville's just starting to hit their stride, pass, offensive wise. I'm going to take Jacksonville at home on this one. I think they're going to catch Oakland, which has to take that long trip from one coast to the other. Never play well when they move across the country.
Okay.
Baltimore at the New York Fighting Jets.
The Jets are just horrible right now.
Wow, don't mix your words there.
Hello, New York, New Jersey area. The Jets are just horrible right now. They really are. Now we're talking quarterback controversy. I didn't even know you could have a quarterback controversy unless you had two good quarterbacks. The Jets are still trying to figure out if they have one. Ryan Fitzpatrick is falling apart. Geno Smith, I don't even know why you would even
Is Geno Smith still in the league?
Yeah, I don't even know why you even consider starting him, but that's what they're talking about. Really, I don't care who's playing the Jets. I think the Jets are just an absolute dumpster fire right now. I like Baltimore in this game.
This is just going to be a horrible game. It'll be a horrible game to watch. This is one of those games that, you're going to see the end score and you're going to say, well, any highlights? No. I mean, you got
you watch this game if you're being punished.
You get Geno Smith and you got Joe Flacco. Okay. Or you had Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's the number 30th quarterback rated and the number 28th quarterback rated. Which one do I really want to watch botch this game up first? I think Baltimore's going to win this just because the Jets are that bad. Washington at Detroit.
This is going to be one of those games where you got to see what the flow of the game is going to be like in the beginning. Both these teams do well on momentum. However, both of these teams don't do well when the momentum suddenly turns against them. Washington, their ability to be able to score from any part of the game, offense, defense, special teams. Their defense is surprisingly good at forcing turnovers. Now they do give up a lot of passing yards, but they can force turnovers. Their offense, if they can stay in rhythm, they are actually pretty good. And special teams, they do have a fairly decent return game. So I do like Washington in this game just because I think more opportunities are going to fall their way. Detroit, they've got a long way to go.
Yeah, and the way I look at this one, Washington has found ways to win games and Detroit has found ways to lose games. And both of them, they know how to score, but boy, I tell you, they also know ways to really screw it up offensive-wise and give it to the other. I mean, right. Cousins throwing in a pick six or, Matt Stafford, okay, I'm going to throw it and the guy's not going to get out of bounds.
Right.
I like Washington in this one. I just think that overall as a team, they're better prepared and they're sitting better within the season than Detroit are. And Detroit is just, it's one of those games you just go, I look at Jim Caldwell and go, Jim, I mean, you're doing the same thing you did in Indy, absolutely nothing.
Right.
The only difference is you had a lot of talent in Indy, and that's what kept you there for a couple of years.
No kidding.
Indianapolis at Tennessee. This is going to be a tough game.
This always is a tough game. It doesn't matter who's better than who. This is one of those division rivalries that you can always just throw the records out.
And sometimes throw the players out.
Well, yeah, sometimes. I think this is going to come down to which quarterback makes fewer mistakes. Andrew Luck obviously has a little bit of time on Marcus Mariota, or is Mariota out, or is he back?
No, Mariota's in. Yeah, he's playing.
He is playing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Luck more time in than Mariota. I like what Luck can do with that Indy offense faster than what I'd like Mariota to be able to do with the Tennessee offense. So, got to give it to Indy here. I think it's going to be a close game, though.
Boy, I'm going to mark this one because this one we're going to disagree with on. I tell you, I like Luck, and we talked earlier. I thought that Indianapolis was going to make some strides this year and might get back to the playoffs. After watching what has been a horrific defense, I mean, they've given up almost as many points as the Cleveland Browns. I mean, that's sad. This is a horrible defense. Did I say horrible?
I think you've said it a couple of times.
They are horrible. I don't think they've got a clue at what they're doing. I don't think they've got any idea on how to stop Marcus Mariota, either when he passes or when he takes off and runs. I'm giving this game to Tennessee at home. Buffalo on the road down in Miami. Long trip south.
It is
for Rex and the boys.
It is a long trip south, but luckily Buffalo is used to running, and that's what they've been doing a whole lot of. They've committed back to running the ball. They've kind of simplified the offense, and it's proved to be quite fruitful in the last couple of years, or in the last couple of games, rather. Everybody thought that the Bills were crazy. Rex Ryan was crazy. His brother Rob Ryan was crazy when they fired their offensive coordinator, the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL, making a little shy of $2 million a year. Everybody thought it was nuts. They thought, how could you possibly think that is the problem? Well, now their offense scores on the average 14 more points a game, and they're outscoring everybody that they play by a fair margin, mind you. The defense is still has a little bit of work to do, but I think against the Dolphins and a young, inexperienced offense, that defense should be able to shine. I like the Bills to go on the road, get the win.
And I'm going to agree with you on that one. It's just the way that Buffalo's playing right now. They're inspired. They're playing tough, hard nosed, football, and Miami. I don't think Miami knows exactly what they're doing. I don't think they're set on offense. They're definitely not set on defense.
Right.
I think Buffalo goes down and just runs this one right over. Cleveland at Cincinnati. Does Cleveland get their first win of the year?
Boy, if there was an opportunity for the Browns to get their first win of the year, this would be it. Cincinnati is just – I just don't even know how the Bengals can be this bad right now with all the talent that they have to play as poorly as what they have this year. I like the Browns to make a lot of noise in this game. There's a lot of opportunity here. And I think we aren't the only people that realize this. Cleveland knows this too. There's a lot of buzz going on with Cleveland teams right now, especially this weekend with obviously the Indians. You have the Heat coming up on Tuesday, getting their rings and starting their season after winning a championship. I'm sure the Browns are going to want to try and make some noise this weekend too, just to kind of show everybody, hey, we mean business. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to take Cleveland in this one for the upset.
Okay. I was listening to a story when I was coming in, and they were talking about Cleveland, how the Browns tweeted out to the Indians, congratulations on going to the World Series. Cleveland Browns want to congratulate the Cleveland Indians on making all of a sudden, they received so many Twitter hits and Twitter responses. Don't curse us. Stay away from us. Haven't you hurt Haven't you hurt Cleveland fans enough? Stay away from this team. We can't. They couldn't even tweet out congratulations without getting blasted.
That's funny.
You talk about a sad state of affairs, and I'm going to mark that down for one we're going to disagree on. Cincinnati, I don't know where the hell the offense went, but was Malcolm Sanu that much of an important cog in this offense? I don't know. Right now, it looks like they just can't get the ball anywhere. They can't run the ball. Eifert's been hurt. Is he back this week? I believe he comes back.
I think he comes back this week.
I'm going to go with Cincinnati at home. I don't think, if they lose to Cleveland, Marvin Lewis, start looking right now.
That seat should have been hot last year.
Oh, yeah. Tampa Bay at San Francisco. Tougher game than you think. Doug Martin is not going to play in this game.
Yeah, really is a little bit tougher game than what you think, and not to mention the fact that I think right now in San Francisco, Chip Kelly's playing for his job.
He's playing for something.
No, seriously, because I know he just got there, and this is kind of one of those. How could they want to turn him around already?
He has no quarterback.
He has nothing.
No,
he really doesn't. And I think what little bit he does have there, they are going to get up for this game. They see an opportunity in a Tampa Bay team that lost a big piece of the puzzle this week. So I think the 49ers do take a shot here and win this one and steal one away from Tampa Bay.
I agree with you. I think San Francisco is going to win this one. I think Tampa Bay is lost. You take away your running back, your elite quarterback that you said. I mean, he hasn't done anything. I mean, this year has just been. You talk about taking a couple steps backward. He ran backwards. He didn't.
Oh,
he
certainly.
Didn't,
he backpedaled like a DB.
Yeah, and it's just it's been amazing to sit there and see the digression. The movement backwards for him.
Right.
I'll take San Francisco in this one also.
There you go.
San Diego making the long trip down to Dixie. San Diego at Atlanta.
San Diego, hot lantern. I got to tell you, not real impressed with Matty Ice and everything that they're doing in Atlanta this year, especially after last year. The offense, I really expected to do a lot more.
What? Really?
What? Yeah.
They've scored more points than any other team in the NFL so far. They've scored 199 points.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not going. My God, they've averaged. I mean, they've the closest one to them has scored. Let me find it. They've scored 199 points. Buffalo scored 162.
Huh, that's strange.
37 points behind.
Okay, well then scratch that. I love what Matty Ice is doing.
Matty Ice is your number one rated quarterback.
What is their?
They're 4-2.
What's their record right now?
4-2.
For some reason, I thought they lost last week.
They did. That's why they went to 4-2.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Let me give you Matty Ice's stats here, okay? Because I was.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You had to be thinking so.
I must have been thinking of something else.
Yeah, Matty Ice, his quarterback rating, 117.9.
Oh my God.
The next closest is Sam Bradford at 109.
Okay, well never mind. Atlanta's
okay, here
win.
we go. He's completed 68% of his passes for 2,075 yards, 15 TDs, and 3 interceptions in 6 games. Not bad.
Oh God, yeah. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking.
I was like, wow, no. Let me correct you on that one.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, there's no way San Diego's keeping up with that kind of stat
No. Go
line.
ahead and pick San Diego because I want to put another one down on my side here.
Yeah, right. No. Nobody. San Diego's not keeping up with that stat line. Yeah, Atlanta's going to hold serve at home.
Atlanta at home. Julio Jones is going to go for another 200 yards.
There you go.
New England at Pittsburgh. Boy, did this game change perspective when Roethlisberger went down.
Yeah, no Big Ben. This is going to be pretty much a walk in the park for New England. Yeah, Tom Brady Tom Brady, that offense, even without Gronkowski playing like normal, and even without that offense gelling like they usually would, Tom Brady's going to figure it out, and he's basically going to throw for like 3 touchdowns, 250 yards, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to be able to answer back.
Beat the Tom. That's what I say. Tom Brady, he has thrown at least, I want to say, either 1 or 2 touchdown passes each week that he's been back, 2 weeks, of course, to a tight end. With Gronk and also now with Martellus Bennett,
right.
He's got 2 great targets to throw to. Pittsburgh, though, has not allowed a tight end quarterback receiving touchdown yet this year. So it's going to be interesting as we go into that. But I think Pittsburgh without Big Ben, with their pass defense still not a great defense, I think New England takes this one handily.
There we go.
Last game Sunday night, Seattle at Arizona, big NFC West game.
Yeah, this Arizona is. I think they've been waiting to get a hold of this one. They want to do some damage to Seattle and kind of get themselves right the ship a little bit. Seattle flailing. I mean, there's nothing that you can say, nothing you're going to sell me on Seattle that's going to think that they're going to have a shot in this game. I think Arizona wins big, and kind of puts their stamp on this game.
I agree. I think Arizona's going to win this one. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than what you're saying, but I think Arizona takes it. And finally, the Monday night game. Go to Monday. Houston at Denver. Ooh.
If you would have told me without Peyton Manning, without Brock Osweiler, the Denver Broncos were still going to be as good as what they were at the beginning of this year, I would have told you you're crazy. But Denver is showing again their defense is probably the best in the league. Gary Kubiak is committed to running the ball. He's not putting too much pressure on the quarterback to win the game for him. Just basically keep him out of trouble and allow the running back and the offensive line to do their thing. I don't really know how many teams are going to be able to beat Denver when they can keep that going. I like Denver in this game.
I do too. I think Denver is a class. I think Houston's just too beat up at this time to be able to go with them.
Right.
Now, we were talking about watered down. I'm looking ahead at next week's games. I just want to give you the Thursday night and the Monday night games, just to give you how, just to kind of back our points.
Right.
Thursday, Jacksonville at Tennessee.
Oh, my God, yeah, snooze fest.
Next Monday night, Minnesota at Chicago.
Oh, my.
You talk about, okay, we're going to be playing, they brought in last night the quarterback for the Bears, Matt Barkley.
Matt Barkley.
Remember him?
Oh my God! Yeah. What?
USC.
Matt Barkley. USC. Yeah.
He was the Bush push, wasn't
he? Yes.
Or was that Leinart?
No. Yeah, that was Matt.
That was Leinart. Yeah. Barkley was something else. Barkley also stayed in college or did something, but one of those other USC quarterbacks that hasn't done anything.
That is hilarious.
Yes. So, hey, that's the NFL. You and I disagree on 4 picks. You got the Giants. I got the Rams. You're taking Oakland. I'm taking Jacksonville. You got Indianapolis. I got Tennessee. You're taking Cleveland. I'm taking Cincinnati. So I'm taking all 4 home teams. You're taking all 4 dogs.
There you go.
The road dog man. That's you.
There you go. And as far as that goes, that's going to do it for us. Sorry,
wake up. That's okay.
No. I was pulling up something for us.
What are you doing? What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to be watching a whole lot of Cubs games. I
am going to be watching Cubs Saturday night, and I don't think I'll be watching them Sunday night. I do think the Cubs will win tomorrow. Now, you and I talked last week. We said, by the time we get to our show, we may have a World Series matchup already. But we were wrong on one side. We didn't talk about another team. We'll have to talk about them next week, and hopefully the Cubs will have a little bit of a lead on them. What about the Cleveland Indians? You and I both picked Toronto to sweep.
Yes.
And Cleveland took that series 4-1.
Unbelievable. Cleveland's bullpen is ridiculous. They're finding ways to generate runs right now. And they're playing with house money.
Oh, they don't care.
This is a team that should not have made it this far.
Nope.
By all statistical matters, they shouldn't have made it this far, but they have. They're playing with house money, and that makes them a dangerous
It's one of those magical teams.
It really
You just sit there and go, I look up and down their lineup and you go Chisenhall and Bradley and someone else. You're going, who the hell are these guys?
Well, let's just hope when they go up against the Cubs that magic fizzles out.
Did you ever see the movie? Oh my God, Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid?
Yes.
It reminds me when they're walking on and they go, who are those guys? That's how I feel with Cleveland. I do hope next week we'll be talking about the Cubs and Cleveland in the World Series.
Same here.
And hopefully we're going to see that get there this Saturday. If not, Sunday night, Cubs will take it home.
There we go. And with that, we're going to send you on out of here. For Steve Dennerman, this is Steve Willis saying, go Cubbies. We will talk to you next week. You guys enjoy your week.
Go Cubs, go.
Whether it's a hot rod or a grocery getter, DDW Automotive and Transmission has you covered. Since 1991, they've been located at 204 South Beach Road in Osceola, Indiana. Stop by or call